Alright guys, so I just figured I'd share a little bit about what I do, not RC related, but here we have a 2014 GMC pickup. It has a check engine light for running rich, and here you see the fuel trims are negative 35% and negative 17 for a total of about 40 to 50% fuel trim correction, which means it's got so much fuel that the computer's trying to take away fuel. I've already checked my ignition timing, my O2 sensor readings, my fuel pressure, my engine load, my mass airflow sensor, and my barometric pressure sensors. So when I look at this situation and I see that we've got excess fuel and the computer has to remove some fuel in order for the car to run right, what I think of is there's nothing in the data that shows that this car has a breathing issue, nor that it has any kind of input issue like an O2 sensor that's skewed or a mass airflow sensor that's skewed. These trucks are direct injected, and as such have a tendency to carbon the intake valves severely, to the point where your airflow into the engine becomes greatly reduced, and then at the same time your injectors usually get dirty for the same exact reasons, because direct injected engines don't have fuel flow through the intake port, and so all of that oil from the PCV system gets collected on the intake valves themselves. So in this case, my data tells me that it's a very high probability that we have some carboned up intake valves, and we'll probably need to replace the injectors while we're in there, and we'll do a walnut blast of the intake valves. But of course, before we sell this to the customer, we'll go in there with a camera, and through the actual cylinder itself, we'll open a valve and we'll turn the camera around because it has an articulating head, and we'll look at the valves and we'll verify that. And if everything gets verified, we'll tell the customer what they need and they can decide to do it or not. But anyway, just wanted to share kind of like what I do on a daily basis. So